Okay, I'm going to start with a hamstring stretch, and I'm also going to get some nice extension in my back. So let's go ahead and get going on this. I'm going to start with a bench because I keep talking about doing this, but I typically don't. So I'm going to stand with my hands over the bench. I'm going to bend my knees, bend my knees, bend my knees, and then I'm going to lean forward, chest onto my knees. And then this right here might be what you do. And this is really good. Now, you will get a bit of a hamstring stretch here. Actually, you'll get a good one depending on how tight your hamstrings are. Over time, maybe your legs get a little bit closer to straight. You're always going to want a bit of a micro bend. Maybe eventually you can start lowering, lower, lower. Maybe you can set your hands on the floor. Over time, weeks, months, maybe eventually you can sort of let go and relax into it. So just remember, breathe to relax, into a count of 4, to a count of 8. That'll help calm your system down. Pass attention over time, 2 to 5 minutes. And what I mean by passive, wet noodle. Wherever possible, my muscles are relaxed, or I'm using my skeletal structure rather than my muscles. The most where you at? There you at. Good. And around, so we'll see what this looks like though. I wouldn't recommend you doing something like this when you're in a pose. Okay, now to come out of this pose, whatever you're doing, take one hand, like I'm going to put my left hand just above my left knee, and then I'm going to start bending my knees. Then I'm going to take my other hand, my right hand, and put it on my right knee, and then I'm going to push up. And in principle, do not use the muscles that you just stretched to come out of a pose. Once you're back to normal, it's fine. But if you've really gone and relaxed the muscle, you've turned off the nervous system and you've relaxed the muscle, you've got to be careful. And also, this is after everything else. So this is after swimming. This is after jogging. This is after fitness, any kind of fitness thing. If you're using your muscles beyond walking, don't be doing this before. All right, now I've got two options here. I'm going to open up the outside of my hip. If I don't have access to a wall, I would do something like a pigeon. Great pose. Maybe I'd use something to elevate myself. But what I want to do tonight is a version of thread the needle, pardon me, and thread the needle is something where you're doing this, and then maybe you're reaching through here and pulling, which this is a really good pose. Thing is, I want to hold it for several minutes. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to rue the day that I keep forgetting to have my yoga mat because my feet are going to slide. But I'm going to do what I just did on the floor, except I'm going to have a foot like this. This will help my foot from sliding a bit. I'm going to take the other foot and put it up here, and whew, let's get going. So right now, I've got the outside here quite a bit. I'm just going to stay here for a little bit and let it relax. You can gently move side to side. You'll change the stretch a little bit. But be careful with this one. This is a highly leveraged pose, which means it's hitting a spot pretty good. So you got to be careful with these kind of poses. Just be gentle with yourself. So remember, breathe to relax, or 8. When you breathe to relax and simultaneously you're experiencing some kind of unfamiliar tension in your body, you're training your nervous system that this is okay. So this is uncomfortable, but I'm breathing through it, and it's okay. And the more you do that, the more resilient you become, the more flexible you become. And guess what? There's no mind body separation. This applies to your daily conversations, your interactions, how you drive if you drive, how you walk, how you carry yourself in your daily life. Lowers your A1C, feels great. Once you learn to be okay with a little bit of discomfort, and you can just observe it, and you know what it's from, it gives you resilience. It's okay to make adjustments throughout the pose, slow. Ooh. When you breathe, really expand your belly. Okay, asymmetrical pose. I'm going to come out of it. I'm going to lift my foot and very gently get it back down to the ground. Whew, tender, tender, tender. And then I'm going to extend my leg. Now I'm fine, totally fine. But just it's just coming out of that pose. You've really done something to the muscle. Do not come out too quickly. Maybe you're younger than I am. You can do it, but don't come out too quickly. All right, same thing, other side. If you're particularly tight on one side, then I would say go longer on that side. Now, on my left side, I start tighter, but it I catch up. So it really isn't. It's just more of a difficult start, but not at the end. About the same. Oh, it's gonna look worse. Oh, maybe it is tighter tonight. Well, if I'm not where I want to be at the end of the pose, I'll just add some time. Okay, you probably can't see what I'm doing, but okay, so when you inhale into your nose, down your trachea, all the way deep into your belly. Now, when you do deep belly breathing, it does several things. Thing one is, and the thing that's most important for what we're doing, it stimulates your vagus nerve. When you stimulate your vagus nerve by expanding your belly and exhaling longer than inhaling, you calm your system down. So you put yourself into discomfort and then you calm your system down, and you are actively using your breath and your conscious will to retune your autonomic system. It's kind of like you're figuring out your body's user manual by making it work in a predictable way yourself. As I said, my left side is the tighter side. And now I'm pretty much caught up. Yeah. I want to get just a little bit of pressure here, just a little, I'm adding just a little bit of juice to this pose, just a touch. So I'm not actually pushing, but the way I've got my arm, the friction is just enough to make my arm not fall, but it's adding just a touch of pressure. In fact, and I'm gonna have to stop doing that because that's doing something on the outside, so the tendon here, and I don't want to do that. That's generally speaking, I try to avoid tendons and ligaments. And invariably, I'm going to sometimes get them, but I'm really trying to target the muscle belly. In this case, big time here, also outside hip. Okay, so anyway, belly. I got lost train of thought. As I inhale, I expand my belly. It gently pushes my leg, which gently puts a little bit of pressure. And so what I'm doing is I'm undulating into and out of the pose by using my breath. Leg is being pushed. No, it's not. Okay, so time to come out of this. Ay, 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 ay. All right, what's next? Ah, yes. Now I'm going to open up my groin. So let's get over to that. Okay. Next up, I'm going to open up my groin. I'm going to put my knees on these pads so I can slide them out, and my legs are going to be coming straight back. Now, what I'm basically doing is this, except my feet are flat on the ground. So my feet are rotating laterally, externally, but it's hard to do. And then I'm pushing myself down, 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 except, oh, that's hard to do. I could use a wall or I can do it this way. This can be a bit tough on your knees. So, take that into consideration. Over time, if it's just pressure, your body learns how to respond to new stimulus, but you got to be consistent, slow and steady. Take back your body. And here we go. Now, this is a big hip flexor thing for me and also groin. So now I'm going to gently sit back. And right now, that's really tight in my hip flexors, but they will, after a moment or two, say, okay. Alexa, volume up. Alexa, volume one. Yeah, better. Oh, shit. Oh, I don't normally go this deep like this. Oh, that's way too much. Oh, and no, it didn't look like I was doing anything there. Oh, oh, I'll take a second to get out of this. Oh, God. When you do the pose like I just did, it's an entirely different pose than how I had been doing it, where I was trying to push my knees apart. Oh, damn. And by the way, I'm not in any pain. It's just I have nothing. It's like my hip flexors are like, no, hell with you, dude. Okay, now they're fine. Okay. Oh, God, that's insane. And I mean, it's totally an internal experience. I mean, I probably moved like a centimeter, but that centimeter, that was great. So just for example, it may not look like it. My toes were tingling and the arches of my feet were tingling because my entire ligament system was like saying, "Well, what are you doing to your hips there, dude?" or something. Doesn't hurt at all, but exceptionally intense. Okay, so I'm going to continue in the same general area. Also going to get my back a little bit. I'm going to open up my grind, feet together. One, two, three, about 4/5 away. You can do closer or further away if you'd like. And I'm going to start this one a little bit differently than I normally do. And actually, I'm just gonna, yeah, I'll do this. I'm gonna add a minute. Butterfly is a good go-to pose. That's a great pose to do when you're sitting in like on a couch. I work at home. I'm blessed to be able to work at home. And so I have a little desk I can slide up to a couch without any arms. I can sit in the middle. And then I sit like this, or sometimes I'll sit cross-legged. Sometimes I'll do a double pigeon or a half pigeon. Okay, I think. I'm just playing around a little bit here. Okay, now continue with the regular pose. I have my hands like this just because it's a lever weight. I'm allowing my body to stretch just naturally. I'm not pulling it down, other than just a little bit of leverage from the weight of my hands being extended away from my body. Now at this point, I'm going to do a little blockhead. Sort of take it easy for a moment. Kitty, you're not helping. Though you're not really hurting too much other, I suppose. I'm up to side angle, I think. Yep, side angle. Okay. So notice I'm using props. Props help you get into a pose and stay there. I was doing nothing to stay there because of balance. Oh, wow, that was pretty hard again on my hands, on my hip flexors. Good. Okay, now for this next one, I'm going to start with a bent knee. When you bend your knee and you're stretching your hamstrings, it tends to move more into the muscle belly. And so what I'll do is I'm going to start bent and then I'll maybe straighten my leg. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. It doesn't really matter. As long as I get the feels of a stretch, that's what I'm looking for. It's about how it feels, not how it looks. So here we go. Bent knee. And I need to be careful. My heel, my left heel is a bit bruised still. So let's see. Now let's see. Am I balanced here? Hmm. Interesting. So uh, the last few times I've done this pose, I've been doing something like this because I was having trouble with balance, but apparently I've gotten enough flexibility that that I can do this without that, I think. Yeah, I think I can. I'll try. Here we go. Holy hell. All right, I've got time to do this. It's irritating me. It's clicking because it's a magnetic thing and it is resonating with my headphones, which I'm only using for the mic so you can't hear the music that I'm playing. Though, James, the band that I'm listening to, allows their music to be on. Aha, now that's going to help that, I think. All right. Yes. Yikers. Gonna arch my chest to the sky to relax my lower back a touch. So I didn't use blockhead for a lot of that. My lower back's just a little tender, but it's fine. Though I wonder if I should. Oh wow, that oh wow was my leg is kind of. I can tell kind of my leg is turning off a little bit. It's like a what is it like? So it's not numb, but it's numb. There's no tingling. There's feeling, but not a much sense of the feeling. I mean, it's like it's just sort of like the nervous system is like, oh yeah, okay, we're good. I'm going to disregard that for a little while. Like I've actually, I mean, honestly, what you probably have done is you probably have since I'm basically telling the brain it's okay until I do something else. The brain is going to assume that things are okay, and it's not going to go really keep checking on it. That's probably from an evolutionary standpoint. It makes sense for energy conservation. And we know that people are completely capable through the placebo effect, which is a real thing, to control their pain. Pain is a signal. Emotions are signals. Last year, I discovered that a sensation that I had taken for panic was, in fact, not panic. I was able to sit with it in discomfort. It was very discomforting to be experiencing what I was experiencing. But this practice and breath work allowed me to sit with it for about 45 minutes. And I know that sounds like, well, who cares details? But what I discovered was that I was not feeling the pain, the tightness in my chest. I was feeling it in my rib cage on the outside of my body. And I made a connection with the problem I had been working on all day. And I realized, oh man, my body's telling me I'm thinking about this problem in the wrong way. So I then just simply said, hey, okay, subconscious, let me know when you figured it out. And about 20 minutes later, I figured it out, and I realized that that was just my body's way of telling me look at it in a different way. And if it happened once, I'd sort of throw it off, but it happened two more times, and it was at the beginning of a project, and it was at a new company. So I was stressed out, but I had been meditating, which I haven't been doing recently. And so I was able to sort of get a sense of that. Okay, so let's get back to rotation here. Ugh. All right. One more time, chest to the sky. All right. Our final pose of the evening, pancake. Now, can my heel handle it? No, I don't want to do that. Okay, I will put this back on now. Surchesh, I will face you. All right, again, elevation. Now, yeah, I'm just not going to describe it. I'm just going to do it. Hmm, no, I think I'll pass. Okay. I hadn't thought about doing this. All right, other side, because I wasn't planning on doing that, but since I did it, that was, oof, yeah, that was a nice little hit right under here. Now this side is my renegade side, so I'm going to stay here for just a bit longer, actually. Okay, let's see. Actually, I'll do something real quick here. That's probably okay. Okay. It's already pretty intense. Okay. Mm-mm. No, I don't like that at all. Not good. I think I just need to get off the pillow. See. We'll see. Oh, This is too much. Yeah, this is too much. Ah, this is too much. Mm. Still getting a good stretch right here. Ah, now. Oh, geez, I don't know if that was very long, but oh, that was deep. Ah, well, let's see if I can stand chest. What do you think? Oh, maybe not. Hey, remember ragdoll all the way at the start? I'm gonna. Oh man, my hip flexors are talking to me. They are not necessarily happy. Yikers. Okay, so I'm gonna actually finish with a little bit of shaking, very gentle, but just sort of help the body reset a little bit. Good night.